Hey everybody, this is PeanutButterGamer, and welcome to my list of the top 10 weirdest and/or creepiest video game characters. Please realize before you criticize that this list is inevitably limited to characters that I know of, so if you have criticisms, I'd appreciate them in a more suggestive format. For example, I think you should have used so-and-so from such and such, as opposed to you freaking suck and I hate you. Otherwise, please enjoy, and thank you for watching. Starting off with number 10 from Super Mario Galaxy, we have the Hungry Lumas. Now, you may think this is an odd choice, but I personally found these guys to be incredibly creepy. I mean, they're constantly just yelling, more, 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 feed me. You know, they want you to feed them star bits, and once they get full, they just burst into a random planet. I mean, maybe I was just thinking too much into it, but it seemed almost like it was some sort of sexual innuendo. I hope that was just me. Actually, I hope it wasn't just me, but either way, these guys were weird, admit it. At number 9, we've got Mr. Rossetti from the Animal Crossing series. This guy's shown up in all 3 Animal Crossing games to date. But what makes him so creepy, you ask? The guy is a stalker. Every time you don't save your game, he shows up and chews you out for it. First of all, how the heck does he know that you didn't save? He has to be dedicating his entire life to watching your every move. If that's not creepy, I don't know what is. And secondly, why does he care? Makes you wonder. Moving on to number 8, we have Murray from the Harvest Moon series. Now, there are actually a handful of weird characters in Harvest Moon games. But the reason I chose Murray is that he seems to have no real backstory whatsoever. In A Wonderful Life for the GameCube and PS2, he claims to be trying to get money to move back to his family in Popo Village, wherever that is. But it doesn't matter how much I actually play the game, I just can't find anything about this guy. So as far as I know, he's just some creeper begging for my hard-earned cash. At number 7, I've got the shopkeeper from Resident Evil 4.
Welcome.
Who doesn't know that voice? From the moment he comes in the game, you're left wondering who in the world he is, and even more so for me, why is he here? I mean, who is he planning on selling anything to in this area? And why isn't he a mindless infected drone like everyone else? But by far the weirdest and creepiest thing about this guy is his strange ability to be everywhere at once. I mean, look at this. He's in one room, and then he's in the next. What the heck?
Come back any time.
Number 6 is the G-Man from the Half-Life series.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Now, I was a fan of Half-Life since the first one, and I've played every installment since, but I still don't know who or what the G-Man is. That's really what makes the G-Man weird and creepy. He barely ever says anything. You just see him sporadically throughout the game. He does eventually speak to you, but even still, it answers no questions, but rather introduces more. Oh, and Valve, if you're listening, I love Left 4 Dead as much as the next guy, but seriously, Half-Life 2 Episode 3, it's about time. Probably one of my favorite characters on the list is Sheogorath from the Oblivion expansion, The Shivering Isles.
It's Jiggalag's time!
The first time this guy opens his mouth, you're already slightly confused. The guy seems to be off his rocker. But I guess it kind of makes sense because he is supposed to be the god of chaos. He doesn't actually do much, but he sure does say a lot of weird things.
The Isles! The Isles! A wonderful place! Except when it's horrible. Then it's horribly wonderful! Well, look who's
He does do this, though, when you attack him.
How about that?
So that's pretty cool. This guy here is Voldo from Soul Calibur. I probably don't have to say anything about this guy for anyone to understand why he made my list, but I'll give it a go anyway. Voldo, like everyone else in Soul Calibur, is after the Soul Edge, an incredibly powerful sword. But Voldo isn't after it for himself. He's trying to get the blade for his deceased master, the Italian Merchant of Death. Whatever that means. But even all that aside, it's really Voldo's fighting style that makes him stand out. That and those codpieces he wears. Number 3, Agatha, the bug girl from Twilight Princess. Since this is a Zelda game, you know there are going to be some odd characters, but you may be wondering, why this girl? Especially this far into the list. But trust me, she earns her spot. Agatha is holding what she calls a ball for bugs, and she needs to gather some, so, of course, you're the one for the job. So you go around the world and find these golden bugs and bring them back to her. Then she takes them and... Wait, go back. What was that? Little stag beetle, your spiky pincers are so sharp. They must feel so good? Yeah, I don't really know where to go with that. Number 2, Tingle, also from the Legend of Zelda series. No, really, what can I say about Tingle? He's got some issues. You first meet him in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which is one of my favorite games, by the way, and you find him floating in a balloon. You shoot him down just to figure out he's a 35-year-old creeper who's obsessed with fairies, and in fact thinks he himself is a forest fairy. His actual talent is mapping. In Majora's Mask, he sells you maps, and in Wind Waker, he deciphers them for you. He also made up his own magic words, which appear to do, you guessed it, nothing. Here's to our runner-up, Tingle, the dancing fairy fruitcake. And before we move on to our number 1, let's revisit all the losers. At number 10, we had those hungry Lumas. Number 9, Mr. Rossetti the Stalker. Number 8, that poor guy Murray. Number 7, Shopkeeper from Resident Evil 4, who has the strange ability to be everywhere at once. Number 6, the one and only G-Man. Number 5, Sheogorath, the God of Chaos. Number 4, What's His Problem, Valdo. Number 3, Agatha, the Bug Princess. And at number 2, Tingle, the Fairy Freak. And now, drumroll, please. And the number 1 spot goes to the King of all Cosmos from Katamari Damacy. With a name like Katamari Damacy, you know it's got to be really weird. Or really Japanese, which is basically the same thing. And if everything in Katamari Damacy is weird, the King of all Cosmos definitely takes the crown. No pun intended, I guess. In Katamari Damacy, you are the prince, and yes, your father is about 50 times bigger than you. One day, your aforementioned father, aka the King of all Cosmos, went out and destroyed every star in the galaxy. Unintentionally, of course. And more stars need to be created. And of course, in true video game fashion, you're the only one for the job. But don't worry, you've got the good king to help you out. When he's paying attention. Or not being lazy, or not wearing these creepy tight pants. So yeah, he's really creepy, but what would you expect from a game with this as its opening song? And there you have it, that concludes my list of the creepiest and weirdest video game characters of all time. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to check out my channel and subscribe, because there's always more where this came from. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been PeanutButterGamer, and peace out.